Today we are going to do the debtors reconciliation. So actually we are comparing the debtors control with the debtors list. So the debtors control, this is the total of all our debtors, right? Debtors control, this is a total of all our debtors. So then you have the debtors list. So there in the debtors list, they are telling you that each debtor is owing you how much, right? So there it's in details. They are telling you that each debtor is owing you how much, right? So, but the totals of these two, they must be the same. So if they are not the same, it means that there was an error that was made. It's either an error was made when uh, transferring from the journals to the debtors control. Maybe we're transferring from the journal, debtors journal, maybe we're transferring this money, and then maybe we made an error when we were transferring this money. So now we have to correct this money. Or maybe um, some data here in a debtors allowances journal. So maybe a debtor returned the goods, but then a transaction was not recorded. So that will mean that that transaction is not recorded here. So now we must come and record it here. Maybe a debtor came and paid the business, right? So if a debtor came and paid the business, so the debtor's control was supposed to decrease, right? So, but then this was not recorded, meaning that we will have to come here to this money of the CRG and add that money to show that your debtors they paid, right? So those are the kind of errors. Or maybe an error was made here in a debtors list, right? So if it happens that a transaction was not recorded, so it will mean that now we have to come and record it on both sides. But it is going to depend on the transaction, that the transaction is saying what. So let's quickly go to the what we are told to do. They are said prepare a correct debtors control account for June 2022 after considering errors and omissions. Then they said note, show all calculations in brackets and balance their account. Then they also said prepare the correct debtors list. Okay, let's go to the transaction. So see, they said errors and omissions. Then they said Roman figure 1, the debtors control balance on 1 June has been overstated. Where is that balance of the debtors control? The balance of debtors control on 1 June, here is the balance, this is 1 June, the balance of debtors control. They are saying that it is overstated, meaning that the balance of the debtors control, it is more by an amount of 6,700. So actually, once they tell you that it is overstated, it means that you must go and subtract, because overstated, it means that it is more. Okay, so actually they are saying that the balance of debtors control on 1 June 2022 is more by 6,700. So we need to go and subtract it. Okay, so let's go to the answer sheet, right? So this is your let me fix this thing. Okay, so this is June 2020. 2, and this is okay, speak deposit. Okay, so it's 1. So this is a balance. It's a balance brought down. Okay, so a balance brought down of 216,210. 216,210. They said it was overstated. It was more by 6,700. So we must come and subtract the 6,700. So if you subtract the 2, you are going to get 209,510. Then let's continue. Roman figure 2, the total of the debtors allowance column in a debtors allowances journal was undercast. Meaning that when we were posting from the debtors allowances journal, when we were posting from the debtors allowances journal, here is the debtors allowances journal. When we were posting from the debtors allowances journal, the money that we posted, it was less by 360. If they are saying understated, it means that it is less. So it was less by 360. Okay. You are saying the total of the debtors allowances in the debtors allowances journal, it was undercast. So they are saying the amount of debtors allowances is undercast, and the amount of debtors allowances here is 55,508. So this money is less, right? So we must come and add it. Okay. So it is June 2022. So it's a debtors allowance. It's a DAG, right? So it is 55,000. Open the brackets. They said show the workings in brackets, right? 55,508. So it was undercast by 360. So we need to come and add this 360 so that we're going to have the amount of the debtors allowance. So you must know that if you are saying it is undercast, you must come and add. If it is overstated, you must come and subtract. Okay. So if you add the two, they're going to give you 55,940. Number 3, a credit invoice for merchandise sold to Hot has not been recorded by the bookkeeper. And then they said the cost price of the merchandise was sold was 3,700. But then see, now we don't need the cost price on it. We need the selling price, because the cost price, the cost price is going to affect the cost of sales and the trading stock, right? So they are saying that a credit invoice for merchandise sold to M has not been recorded by the bookkeeper. So if we are selling on credit, that is going to be a debtor's that is going to be a debtor's journal. But then this was not recorded. This was not recorded. We sold on credit, so it's a debtors. Okay, there's something wrong with my pen. Okay, so we sold on credit, so it's a debtors it's a debtors journal, right? So let's come here. So just date June sales ETJ, right? How much is the money there? It is 310 920. 310 920 plus. So now what are they saying? So they said a credit invoice for merchandise sold to M has not been recorded, meaning that meaning that because you can see that these sales they were transferred from the debtors journal, meaning that that invoice of merchandise sold is not included in this 310 and 20 because it was not recorded, right? But then the problem now is we are not told to do the debtors journal, right? So because now we are not told to do the debtors journal, we must correct this error here in a debtors control account. So we must open the account sales and then open the brackets. Then we take the amount that is given. Now we need to add the money that was not recorded. But they gave us a cost price. So now how do we find the selling price? They said the business uses a markup of 40%. Okay, so let's go and see. The business uses a markup of 40%. So 3,000 okay, this pen is not writing here. Okay, so they said the business uses a markup of 40%. So the cost price there is 3,700, right? So usually when I'm doing this, what I do is this. I say cost price plus markup is equal to selling price. So the markup is given is 40%. So you must always know that the cost price is always 100%. So therefore, cost price plus markup is equal to selling price, right? So then the next step is this. When I want to find this, what I do is this. Below, you must put what you have. So below, what I have is 3,700, which is a cost price. So according to this, the cost price is 100. And then above you put what you want. So what I want is a selling price, which is 140. What I want is the selling price, which is 140. So 3,700 times 140, that is going to give you 5,180. It's 5,180. So let's go and add it to show that the sales were supposed to increase by 5,180. Right? But then it was not recorded, and we were selling the goods to M. Amhod. So M. Amhod is owing us an amount of 18,900. So let's go to M. Amhod. He is owing us an amount of 18,900, right? But then we sold the goods to him on credit, and we did not record it. So meaning that we did not increase his account, because when we sold the goods to him, it means that now he is going to owe us more money. So we must come and increase his account because this was not recorded. So we add 5,180, right? And then we come back here. Transfer the credit balance in the debtors ledger of P. Hlophe to his account in the creditors ledger. Now, let's look at this. If you can look at this debtors list, we have a debit side and a credit side. So we know that the debtors of the business, they must have the debit balance because the debtors, they increase on the debit side. So if they have a credit balance, it means that that is no longer a debtor, that is a creditor. So here P. Hlophe has a credit balance, meaning that P. Hlophe has a negative balance. The business is the one now that is owing P. Hlophe. Now, what could be the reason for the business to owe P. Hlophe? The reason could be that maybe P. Hlophe paid more, right? Maybe P. Hlophe paid more. So if P. Hlophe paid more, it means that the debtors control decreased more. Let's say, for example, P. Hlophe was owing us an amount of 300. So if he is owing us an amount of 300, that is going to be on the debit side to show that he is owing us an amount of 300. But then now what happens when P. Hlophe comes and pays 400 rand? Now this means that his account is going to decrease more, right? So now to correct this, we must increase his account. Okay, so because here they are saying transfer the credit balance in the debtors ledger of P. Hlophe to his account in the creditors ledger, we must come to the debtors control and increase it. The reason we are increasing it is because it was decreased more. Okay, it is because it was decreased more. So that example I was making, that if a debtor was owing you 300 and then he paid you 400, so meaning that the account of the debtor decreased more by how much? By 100, right? So that will mean now the business is owing the debtor an amount of 100 rand. Right? So now to correct this, we must increase the account of the debtor. We must increase the account of the debtor. So we must go and increase the debtor's control. But you can see that this transaction does not belong in any other journal. So if it does not belong in any other journal, we must go and record it in a general journal. So we journal debit, journal debit of how much? 1,020. So we must come and increase it by 800 because the debtor's control is increasing by 1,800. The reason it's increasing by 1,800 is because it was decreased more by 1,800 when this data paid us more, right? So we must also go and increase his account because his account, it was increased more. So if we are transferring the account of this data to the creditors ledger, it means that now we are turning this data to a creditor. So now this means that according to us, this data is no longer owing us. According to us, this data is no longer owing us. Okay. What's next? An amount of 400 received from G. Krieger via EFT, meaning that now G. Krieger was paying us, was recorded in the journal but was not transferred to his account. So G. Krieger paid us, but then we did not record in his account. How much is he owing us? According to this, G. Krieger is owing us 72,400. 72,400. Right? So G. Krieger was paying us an amount of 400, but then it was not transferred to his account. So when G. Krieger was paying us, it means that his account was supposed to decrease, but then we did not record this. So we need to come and decrease his account. Okay, a receipt issued to S. Taylor for 19,800 cash received was recorded correctly. Okay, a receipt issued to S. Taylor for 19,800 cash received. So S. Taylor was paying us, right? Was recorded correctly in a subsidiary journal, but was posted to her account as 18,900. Now let's see. S. Taylor is owing us how much? S. Taylor is owing us how much? He is owing us 80,000. Right? Now let's see that what really happened here. So the cash that was received, it was 19,800. He was paying us that money. But then her account but was posted to her account as 18,900. So he paid this money, but in her account it was recorded as 18,900, meaning that it was decreased by a lesser money. So we still need to decrease it. So let me just bring out the calculator. Let me just bring out the calculator. Let me just bring out the calculator. Okay. Let me just bring out the calculator. Okay, so it's 19,800 minus 18,900. So the difference is 900. So now we must come to this account to decrease it by 900. The reason we are decreasing it by 900, it is because it was decreased by a small amount. It was supposed to be decreased by 19,800. So we made an error, right? So we still need to decrease it by 900. Remember, we still need to decrease it by 900 because it was decreased by a lesser money. Let's continue. An entry in respect of goods sold on account to T. Makowe to the value of 3,000. Let's go and see how much is he owing us. T. Makowe is owing us 18,000. He is owing us 18,000. So they said an entry in respect of goods sold on credit to T. Makowe to the value of 3,000 was correctly entered in a debtors journal, but was entered on the wrong side of his account. Now, what do they mean when they are saying on the wrong side of his account? The question is, if we're selling the goods to T. McCoy on credit, it means that his account was supposed to increase because now he was going to owe us more by an amount of 3,000. But then they're saying that this was entered on the wrong side of his account. So when we're selling to him on credit, it was going to mean that the amount that he is owing us is increasing. So we know that the debtors, they increase on the debit side. So if they're saying that this was entered on the wrong side, it means that it was entered on the credit side, meaning that instead of increasing his account, his account was decreased because they said was entered on the wrong side of his account, meaning that instead of increasing his account to show that we sold the goods to him on credit, we decrease his account. So what we're going to do now is we have to come and decrease his account. I mean, we have to come and increase his account. But then now, we must increase it twice. And let's see here, it was entered on the wrong side of his account, meaning that it was decreased while it was supposed to be increased on it. So the first thing that you must do, you must first add the money that was subtracted, and then now we add the money that you're supposed to add. So this one is the one that was entered on the wrong side of his account, which was subtracted. So we are replacing it, and then now we are adding the one that we were supposed to add when we sold the goods to him on credit. And then a payment of 12,000 received from Y Putin was correctly recorded in the subsidiary journal but was incorrectly recorded in the account of R. Dia. Y Putin is owing us 74,800. And Dia is owing us 66,780. Now, they are saying a payment of 12,000 received from Y Putin was correctly recorded in a subsidiary journal but was incorrectly recorded in the account of R. Dia. So this was supposed to be recorded in the account of Putin, but it was recorded in the account of Dia. So Y Putin was paying us, right? Meaning that his account was supposed to decrease because now he was going to owe us a lesser money. So let's go and decrease his account. We were receiving how much? 12,000. So we have to decrease it by 12,000. But then this was recorded, incorrectly recorded in the account of Dia. So Dia was not paying us, but his account was decreased by this 12,000 as if he is the one who was paying. So we must come and increase his account. When they said J. Philip, whose account was 3 months in arrears, was charged an interest at 15% per annum. J. Philip is owing us 7,200. So 7,200 times 5%. So they're saying it's 3 months in arrears. Which is going to give us 90 Rand. Right? So J. Phillips is owing us 7,200. Now, if his account was charged an interest, meaning that now his account is supposed to increase. by an interest of 90 rand that was charged to him because he was not paying us now. So now we charge him in interest. So we are increasing the amount that he is owing us. Now, what happens to the debtors control? What is supposed to happen to the debtors control when this is happening? Also, the debtors control is supposed to increase on it. By how much? So we charge a debtor in interest, so that transaction does not affect any other journal, right? So meaning that you must go and record it in a general journal, right? So we charge a debtor, meaning that the amount that he is owing us is supposed to increase. So this must go to the debit side of the debtors control under the general journal. So we must come and add that 90 rand. So according to this, we are done with the transactions. Okay, let's come and finish this. You have the bank and discount allowed. Bank and discount allowed, CRG, which is 124,038. So nothing was said about this, meaning that no error was made. And also you have the general credit, GG of 1,600, and then you have a bank refund, which is 600. Right? Now let's come and add this 310,920 plus 5,180. It is going to give you 316,100. And then 1,820 plus 1,800 plus 90 rand, that is 3,710. Right? So if you add them together, the money that you are going to get is 529,920. 529,920. Right? So we're going to have the balance credit down, which is we're going to take 529,920 minus all the credit side. So we're going to get the balance credit down, which is 348,000. 348,000. So this is going to be the balance of the debtors control at the beginning of the next month, which is July 2022. It's a balance brought down 348,000. This is 348. All right, now let's go to the debtors list. Remember, their balances, they must be the same. Okay, 80,000 minus 900 is equal to 79,100. 74 minus 74,800 minus 12,000, it is 62,800. Then this minus this is 72,000. Then this, it is going to give you 24,080. Then these two, they're going to give us 78,780. Then these two, 7,290. And then this, they are going to give us 24,000. So if you add all of this, it is going to give you 348,000. So we don't have a money here on the credit side. So this means that our debtors list is now equal to the debtors control, which is what we want.